Alright, I'm going to do a quick little video of a little bypass that I did for my fog lights on my 2000 Yukon. Um, Pretty much, it originally came with fog lights, but for some reason, the fog lights won't turn on or off. And the switch is good and everything else. I bought a couple of them off of eBay. And the lights are good, the wiring's good, the relay's good. But apparently something in the body control module needs to be activated or whatever, and it should have already been activated since I already had fog lights and they should already work. But for whatever reason, it's not working. So I figured, oh well, maybe it's the switch. Well, the switch thing goes off of like a pulse, so it's not like an on-off switch to where it can like pretty much get messed up. So like you just click it once, it sends the signal to the body control module or whatever, and it'll turn them on. And then there's a bunch of other wiring that goes into it too, but for like the daytime running lights and all that, I'm sure to kick them off and whatever. But people are saying that it cost them like $90 or $200, $300, $380, whatever, to have dealerships do it. Well, I thought that was kind of stupid because all it is a relay and it goes to the fog lights and you could just make up your own switch. So what I pretty much did is I had a flashlight that was like kind of messed up. Well, it's got an on-off switch on the flashlight, like an actual clicker one. So like, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's just like, it's a flashlight clicker for the most part. Well, I cut everything out of there, and I just put it in there. There's kind of a little tab that comes off of the switch and like runs off of slides. And there's supposed to be a little plastic button that pops the switch back out, but I just dremeled that all out, cut it out, and I just threw some JB weld on there, and I just stuck that switch in there. You put 2 wires to it. I'll probably put a fuse in between there, so it'll end up popping the fuse and not catch the truck on fire. But I made a little on-off switch, and the thing that you have to connect it to is it's A7 on the body control module, I think is the number. It's a green and white wire, and all you have to do is ground that out, and it'll kick the fog lights on, and it'll show up on the dash that the fog lights are on with the little fog light, and this will turn on the little light in there for the fog lights. And that's all you have to do. You just connect one of these wires to that wire, ground it out on the dash, just like with the self-tapping screw or whatever, however you want to do it. And you just have an on-off switch. So it'll ground it out every time and it'll kick the fog lights on. And you just turn it off and it'll turn them off. It just cuts the signal off. It's pretty simple. It's a quick little bypass, so you don't have to go through like a dealership or anything like that. And you just make your own on-off switch. You could probably go to Radio Shack and buy yourself an on-off switch, or get it out of something that's already at the house, like a kid's toy or something. But for the most part, this lined up and fit pretty well. It's kind of in there sideways because of the way that I dremeled it out, but it seems pretty solid. Like it doesn't move or anything. And it's a really simple design in there. It's 2 slides, 2 tabs, and this button pops out of this. But you don't want to mess up the two slides, at least, because that's what stops it. But as long as the button's pushing against it to push it out, it should be fine. Like I got mine pretty flush. I was gonna take a video before I put the cover on, but I don't want to touch anything anymore because just in case I break something or the button falls out, so I don't have to re-JB weld everything and Dremel everything out. But you just put an on-off switch in there. It should be good to go. And like, I don't know how many years they had these switches in there for the fog lights in the rear. Like, I'm sure there's some in like the trucks and whatnot that didn't have the rear windshield wipers, since mine's a Yukon and whatnot, like the Sierras and the Silverados and who knows what else. Like, I'm sure the Jimmies and everything probably had the same fog light switch and the same body control module, and like the Blazers and all those. I'm sure it's the same from '99 up to whatever, probably 2014 or whenever they changed the body control module, got different or whatever. I'm sure it's a different wire, probably somewhere along the way, but for the most part, it's just the fog light. I think it's the fog light ground for the relay. This is one of them. I'm not specific on like what it's labeled, but I know the green white one is for the fog lights, and you ground it out and it'll kick the fog lights on. So pretty simple. And it's just right underneath the dash is the body control module, at least on mine. So it's a pretty simple, easy little bypass, so you don't have to go through any nonsense with the dealership.